The clock on the wall flicked past 3:02 a.m. when I heard the front door creak open. My hand froze around the mug of cold coffee, its rim pressed against my lips. The house was silent except for the faint hum of the refrigerator and the sound of her heels clicking on the tile floor. Slow, uncertain, like she was testing whether the floor would forgive her weight. I didn't move. Didn't say a word. Just listened. Then came her voice, soft and tired. "Ethan. You're still up." I turned my head toward the doorway. There she was, Maya, her hair disheveled, mascara faintly smudged under her eyes, wearing a black dress I'd never seen before. She looked exhausted, but not from work. "I couldn't sleep," I said evenly. "You said your office dinner would end by 10. She dropped her purse on the couch. "It ran late. Then traffic." Her voice cracked slightly, like she'd rehearsed this explanation too many times in her head. 3 hours of traffic. Yes. Her gaze flickered just for a second, but I caught it. That flash of guilt people try to hide behind tired eyes. "Ethan," she sighed, "I'm tired. Please. Can we not do this now?" She walked past me, brushing my shoulder lightly. The scent of expensive cologne, not hers, definitely not mine, lingered in the air. I stared at her back as she disappeared into the bedroom, my heart pounding against my ribs. A storm brewed behind my chest, but I swallowed it. Not yet. Not without proof. The morning after. The sun came up pale and gray, spilling cold light through the blinds. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. When I walked into the kitchen, the table was already set. Her coffee mug half filled, a slice of toast untouched. Maya stood near the counter, her phone clutched in her hand, her eyes distant. Then I saw them, 2 suitcases by the door. For a moment I couldn't process it. My voice cracked. "You're going somewhere." She didn't look up. "Ethan, we need to talk." Those words, the ones that always end things. I sank into a chair. "You're leaving. I think it's better for both of us." Her tone was gentle, rehearsed, like she'd practiced it in her head all night. "What happened?" "Yes. We've had rough months, sure, but you don't just wake up one day and pack your life into 2 bags. She hesitated, then sighed, looking at the floor. "It's not just one day, Ethan. It's been building. I've been unhappy." "Unhappy," I repeated quietly. "And you didn't think to tell me before 3 a.m. Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't want to hurt you." I laughed bitterly. "Then what the hell do you call this?" That's when the horn outside honked, a short, impatient beep. Taxi waited at the curb. She flinched. "Maya," I whispered. "You called a taxi before talking to me?" Her silence said everything. The cracks beneath the surface. We'd been married 7 years. 7 years of shared grocery lists, weekend movies, whispered dreams of kids we hadn't had yet. I thought we were fine. Not perfect, but fine. But lately, things had shifted. She'd started working late, texting someone more often than she used to, guarding her phone, smiling at messages she never showed me. Once, I caught her typing furiously, then turning the screen face down the moment I walked in. "Asked about it," she said. "It's work." I wanted to believe her. God, I chose to believe her. Because the alternative, that she could be betraying me, felt too heavy to hold. Now, looking at those suitcases, I realized how blind I'd been. The confession that never came. "Maya," I said, standing up slowly. "Just tell me the truth. Please." She wiped her cheek. "I told you, I'm not happy." "That's not the truth," I said. "That's a cover story. You don't pack up your life because you're unhappy. You leave when there's someone else." Her lips trembled. "Ethan. Who is he?" My voice cracked. "Just tell me his name." Her eyes met mine for a split second, filled with guilt, fear, and something else I couldn't quite name. Then she looked away. "I don't want to hurt you more," she whispered. That was all the confirmation I needed. I stepped back, my stomach hollow. My voice was barely a whisper. "How long?" She closed her eyes. "A few months." "Does he know you're married?" Her silence was an answer. I exhaled sharply, half a laugh, half a sob. So you've been coming home to me every night, sleeping beside me, saying, "I love you," while running to him the next day? She broke down then, tears streaming freely. Ethan, please stop. I didn't mean for it to happen. It was just, I felt lost and he listened. You were so distant, always busy. I was working extra shifts to pay for your birthday trip, Maya. Her sobs grew quieter, and for a moment, all I could hear was the sound of the taxi idling outside, its engine rumbling like a clock ticking down to goodbye. The breaking point. I walked past her, pacing the living room, my mind spiraling. Everything suddenly made sense. The new perfume, the last-minute work dinners, the phone she guarded like a secret. "Do you love him?" I asked finally without looking at her. She hesitated too long. That silence shattered me more than any word could. "I don't know," she whispered at last. "Maybe I do. Maybe I'm just confused." I turned to her. "No, you're not confused, Maya. You made a choice." Her lip trembled. "I never wanted to hurt you." "Then why are your bags packed?" For the first time she looked me straight in the eyes. There was a strange calm in her face now, as if she'd finally accepted what she was doing. Because staying would hurt more. I wanted to scream, to beg, to shake her until the truth fell out of her, but instead I just stood there, quiet, broken, watching the woman I loved choose someone else. The goodbye. She walked to the door, dragging her suitcases behind her. Followed numb. "Is he waiting for you?" I asked softly. Her shoulders stiffened. "No. He doesn't know I'm leaving yet." I almost laughed. "So you're leaving me for a man who doesn't even know you're free?" She turned, tears streaming again. "I just need to find myself, Ethan. It's not just about him." "Then why did you hide him?" I asked. "Why did you lie?" She had no answer. The taxi driver got out, opening the trunk. She wiped her eyes, then looked at me one last time. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice trembling. "For everything." I nodded slowly. "Yeah. Me too." And then she was gone, sliding into the back seat of the taxi, her face disappearing behind the tinted glass. The car pulled away, leaving behind a faint trail of exhaust and a silence so deep it hurt. After she left, the house felt smaller after she was gone. The rooms echoed differently, every sound hollow, every shadow heavier. I found her toothbrush in the holder, her perfume still sitting on the dresser. I wanted to throw them out, but I couldn't. Felt like admitting defeat. Days turned into weeks. I went to work, came home, went through the motions. But her absence followed me like a ghost. I stopped checking my phone, stopped listening to music. Everything reminded me of her. Of us. Then one night, around the same time she'd come home that last time, 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was a message from her. I didn't expect it to feel this empty. I thought I'd be free. But it feels like I lost everything. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I typed back. "You didn't lose everything, Maya. You gave it away." And I hit send. The reckoning. Months passed. I heard through mutual friends that things didn't work out with him. He was married too, apparently. She'd been his escape, not his future. Part of me felt vindicated. Another part, ashamed that I still cared. One afternoon she showed up at my office. Unannounced. Her hair shorter, her face pale, eyes red. "Ethan," she said softly. "Can we talk?" I studied her for a long moment before answering. "You already said everything you needed to." "I made a mistake," she whispered. "I thought I needed something else. But I just ruined what mattered most." I sighed. "You can't rebuild something you burned to the ground, Maya." Tears filled her eyes. "I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. For real this time." I nodded, my heart strangely calm. "I forgave you a long time ago," I said. "But forgiveness doesn't mean going back." She nodded slowly, understanding. Then she smiled, a sad, broken smile, and walked away. This time I didn't stop her. Epilogue. That night I sat on the porch, the cool air biting against my skin. The city was quiet, except for the faint hum of distant traffic. 4 months I'd replayed that night in my head. Her walking through the door at 3 a.m. saying, "I'm tired." I realized now that she wasn't just tired from the night. She was tired of us. Of pretending. Of living a lie she no longer believed in. And maybe, in a way, I was tired too. Of holding on to something that had already slipped through my fingers. I took a deep breath, let the night air fill my lungs, and whispered to no one in particular, "Goodbye, Maya." The clock struck 3:02 a.m. again. But this time I didn't wait for the door to open. I finally let it stay closed.